Careful! Reese hissed at Dr. Griffin as Trinity winced for the third time. Griffin glanced up with a warning. I can't be any more careful, sir. Luna's not wincing because of me. She's wounded. I'll kill them, Reese swore.
Trinity squeezed her eyes tighter. It's fine. It just hurts.
Griffin lowered his hands from her head to look at Reese again. I won't know anything else without a scan. I'm guessing you want to avoid that? Werewolves had healing properties that Trinity didn't have. The only medical scans they did were to make sure that bones could be set properly before they healed in the wrong position. Do you think she needs one? Reese asked. Head injuries are tricky, sir. We wouldn't want to wait until things get worse.
Trinity groaned. It's probably nothing. I just want to take a pain pill and sleep.
And if you have a concussion and never wake up? Reese asked her.
At least the pain will be gone, she mumbled. Reese growled, but Trinity didn't even have the energy to roll her eyes at him. She huffed. If you're so worried, you can monitor me. Wake me up if I stop breathing.
Not funny, little bunny. Griffin chimed in. She's not wrong. If you check every few hours, then fine. But if she has any problems with her vision or balance, then we need to get her to a real hospital, immediately. Do you understand? Yes. Trinity and Reese answered together. Griffin opened his bag to retrieve a small vial. One dose will be enough. It won't wipe out everything, but that's a good thing. Pain is there as a warning sign.
She lifted her hand to him, opening and closing it like a child for a bottle. Her annoyance slipped into her voice. Yeah, pain good, death bad. Please, I need this to stop.
Goddess, she sounds awful. Reese grimaced at her pain. Griffin checked in with Reese and the Alpha nodded. Griffin quickly filled the syringe with the medicine and motioned for Trinity's arm. He found her vein and pierced it with the needle. Reese watched the plunger go down and felt his stomach tighten again. That won't be too much? He asked. Griffin shook his head. Just enough to get her some relief so she can fall asleep. You won't have to do much when you check on her. Make sure she's breathing and can speak without slurred speech, then let her rest again. If all goes well, then we won't have to see each other anytime soon.
Trinity grinned at him. Thank you, Doctor.
Reese walked Griffin out of the room and shut the door behind him. Reese trusted Griffin. He was one of the few people that Reese trusted with his mother. Still, he needed to make sure that no one knew about the attack. Not until he knew what was going on. Griffin, Reese began in his Alpha command voice. You can't tell anyone what happened here. Griffin nodded, though he was forced to obey anyway. Of course, my Alpha. Reese clapped the doctor on the shoulder gratefully. Reese? Riley called from down the hall. Reese turned again to face his cousin. Yes? He couldn't handle any other bad news. I'm about to watch security footage. I waited in case you wanted to see. Reese didn't just want to see it. He needed to. He had to understand how this attack happened. Lead the way. The security room at Riley's Alpha house was smaller than the one at Reese's. It made sense, given that Riley's estate was smaller too. It still had plenty of cameras and security precautions, though. They had at least 3 angles of the front of the house, which let Reese see exactly what happened there. He growled well as the first attacker snuck up behind Trinity. She managed to fight him off well, but once the others surrounded her, there was nothing she could do. She was outnumbered. Riley whistled appreciatively. She's a fighter, your Luna. But she lost, Reese snapped. I was right. She's too weak to be my Luna. Riley barked at him. Reese! Look at her! He pointed to the screen where the attackers hauled Trinity off into the distance. She could have gotten away easily if she could shift, but no! The goddess cursed me with a mate that has no wolf! She has something, Riley argued. She's not defenseless. She might as well be, Reese pushed back from the security footage. A Luna will always be their Alpha's weakness. Or your greatest strength. Don't push her away just because she needs you. They all need me, Reese roared. My entire pack. Your pack, too. How can I protect them if I'm worried about her? He hadn't thought of anything but her since the moment she was taken. Riley reached for him, but Reese threw off his cousin's hands. He didn't need comfort. He needed a mate who wouldn't cost him everything. How could she be so weak and still strong enough to break me?
Trinity didn't remember much of sleeping that night. Reese might have talked to her once or twice. The medication blurred that. It wouldn't surprise her if he didn't. Maybe he found something else to do than babysit her headache. She felt better by morning, though. Her head still hurt, but it didn't pound. She didn't want to die or vomit. She gently shifted to the edge of the bed to get up. She turned her head too quickly. She winced at the sharp pain it brought.
Panicked, Reese rushed into the room. What happened? Is it getting worse?
He's still so worried, she thought with a thrill. Last night changed everything. She grinned at him reassuringly. I just moved my head too fast. I'm much better. I think I can shower and change. Then we can go. We're behind schedule already.
Reese cared so much about the order of things. She figured he'd care about that. But Reese instead walked to the window and opened the curtains. The room faced the front yard, the same place she'd been taken from that night.
From the bed, Trinity saw his car was in the same spot. Had they already cleaned the blood off of it?
Reese cleared his throat. Right. Well, I want to talk to you before you go.
Trinity frowned. What now?
Reese kept his eyes on the yard. What happened last night will never happen again, he began. His voice was tense and strained.
Trinity verbally rushed to reassure him. I'm so sorry. I won't go out by myself. I never thought anything like that could happen. I just never thought, I guess. Those men took her because she was his Luna. She always thought the biggest danger to her would be their pack's resentment. This was new territory for her.
Not just the attack, Reese said impatiently. The dance, for one. I won't allow it.
Trinity could have laughed. That's fine. She didn't need everyone watching her swoon over him.
And the kiss, he said. It was never supposed to happen in the first place.
Agreed. Never thought my first kiss would be forced on me like that.
His eyes widened.
She fought the urge to flush in embarrassment. She didn't need to be embarrassed. Plenty of people waited until they found someone they actually wanted to kiss and touch. She mostly felt embarrassed that a part of her wanted to do it again.
He barreled on. Last thing. I won't save you next time. Trinity's heart sank at those words. He spoke faster at that. Either you save yourself, or don't put yourself in a reckless situation, or call your guards.
She dropped her eyes to the floor. Did he really hate her that much? After all this? I'm sorry I'm such a burden to you, she said.
He scoffed in disbelief. You're more than a burden. Her eyes snapped up to meet his in shock. Reese's eyes were filled with anger and disgust. You take and take. Your party, your rescues, and even this conversation is trying every piece of me. How could the goddess do this? How could anyone...
How could anyone what? She demanded. Tears welled in her eyes, and she blinked them back defiantly.
Love someone like you, he finished.
Everything in her shattered. Thank God she was already sitting, because she would have fallen to the ground otherwise. She had no words. No comeback to the one question that she asked herself her entire life. Her mother hadn't loved her long enough to stay alive. Her grandfather hadn't loved her at all. Her mate, the one wolf meant to love her, sneered at the thought of being there for her. He told her before that they would never be anything. But what was she supposed to think after last night? He held her like a lover. He kissed her with a heat that she could still feel underneath her skin. But none of that mattered to him. None of that changed anything. I wish I'd never woken up, she thought. Last night, even with the throbbing pain, for one moment, she was Luna worth staying up for. Now she couldn't imagine why anyone would try to put up with her. She rose from the bed on shaking legs and forced herself to meet his eyes again. How could anyone love her? I guess we'll never know, she said. I'll meet you in the car. She raced to the bathroom, slamming the door shut behind her. She managed to get the shower on full blast before the tears fell. Then she sobbed so hard that she forgot about all the pain in her head. The one in her heart was much, much worse.
Want to know what happens next? Click on the link in the description below to watch further episodes of Chosen by Fate, Rejected by the Alpha.